All right, so awesome today to be joined by Regis Prograis, former 140-pound champion, who's fighting to regain that belt November 26th, Saturday at I'm sorry, let's start over at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Brought to you by Legends Entertainment, and that's going to be shown on pay-per-view at Fight TV and ppv.com. This is going to be a great fight for Regis against former title challenger Jose Zepeda. And, look, in a year that has been sort of lacking, I think, in the sport, this is a great fight at Carson's War Grounds. This is a can't miss, can't disappoint type of brawl that I expect us to see. Regis, what's your thoughts on how entertaining your fight is going to be for the title?
I mean, that's a good question, man. First off, I'm just excited, because I haven't been a champion in 3 years, and so basically I've been working this whole time. I've been working for 3 years. I've been working just to get this shot, and so, I mean, listen, I credit Zepeda for getting to the title, for being mandatory in fighting for the belt again. But honestly, I just feel like I'm just a level above him, and I feel like skill wise I'm just better, and I just want to show the world like that, I still am the best in the world at my weight division.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because look, I mean, we've talked to you in the past about just how you're always on the go. You're always doing something creative or daring or staying busy. How antsy have you been during this? I was looking at it. I mean, you've had one fight since April 2021. That's got to be tough on you, not just for who you are as a person and to try to avoid, what can be the great enemy of fighters, rust. How did you do it?
Right. Well, listen, like I always tell people, so boxing, boxing, even when boxing is slow, like I still train all the time. I'm always trying. I'm always in the gym, like literally nonstop. I'm always in the gym, and then on a personal level, I'm always doing so good. I'm always doing so great on a personal level, with my family, my kids. One of the things I love to do, of course, I love to do a lot of different stuff, but I love to travel, So I'm always when I'm not. I live in Texas, but when I'm not in Texas, I'm just gone. I'm traveling all the time. Me and my family, we travel a lot. Me and my friends, we travel. Me and my wife, we'll just travel sometimes. So, I'm just really just enjoying life. And then once I come home, I train, and then I'm with my kids. I'm a family man, then I'm with my kids and stuff like that. So, even when boxing is slowing down, it'll seem like, oh, it's real slow and we not doing nothing. But at the end of the day, I'm still always training. Literally, like I never stop training. I never stop sparring. And for this fight, I was in camp. I've been in camp for like 5 or 6 months for this fight. I was actually
Wow.
supposed to fight. I was actually supposed to fight in August 20, on when Andy Joshua fought Usyk. I was supposed to fight on that, and then they pushed it back to August 27. And then after that, I was in camp that whole time, and then after that, they told me, you fighting for the belt next. So, obviously, then it was like, all right, let's do this. So I've been in camp for a long time, and I'm just excited for this.
So you're happy and fit, we know that. But is there something that you can't duplicate when you are just in the gym training? It's not a fight. So how can you know that you're ready for an actual fight?
Well, I mean, well, so I mean, I did fight my last fight. Well, it was like you said, it was in April or something like that. So you
Yeah.
can't, you don't know, you go out there, that's all you do. You go out there and you perform. I mean, I did this already, I think 27, 28 times already so far. So listen, if I'm not ready, then I won't be ready anyway. So I'm not, that's something we just don't worry about. As long as what you have to do is you have to train and be focused, and on fight night everything will come together.
How well do you know Cepeda? I'm going to assume that you saw the great 2020 fight of the year that he had against Ivan Baranchek, where they were both down multiple times. Jose emerges with a very compelling victory. There's times, and I asked him about this, there's times that he's absolutely, this balls out fighter, and there's other times where you wonder, like, hey, where's the trigger to get him going in a fight? Like I think back to the Hank Lundy fight, where he was a little bit slow to make that an entertaining clash. What are your thoughts on him?
mean, I think he's an okay fighter. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if you know, but me and him, we share one of the same trainers, right? So obviously, this trainer, he's stepping out for both of us. Julian Chua, he trains both of us, and one thing Julian told me that he told him, he said, "Listen, this guy is good. Don't underestimate." He told him the same thing about me. So I think yeah, in some fights he could be explosive, but some fights he won't be that explosive. But one thing is like he's never fought nothing like me before. Nothing. I feel like he's never fought nothing. Noah even close to me before. With Baranchek, he went down a few times. I'm not Baranchek. That's one thing. If I feel like if I land the shot like Baranchek lands, he's not getting up from that. I just really feel like he won't get up from that. And I'm not Jose Vargas. I'm not none of those guys he fought. So, I credit him to get into this opportunity, to get to this title shot. But with me, I feel like I'm a whole different monster.
Yeah, Regis, I agree. I mean, there are a lot of similarities. Both of you guys are 33. Both of you are southpaws. But I think that the thing that strikes me about you, Regis, is that looking at your record, and this has kind of caught me off guard. 27-1 with 23 knockouts. Like you said, you go for the finish. And then
Right.
look, we all know that your only loss was going on the road, a very tough road assignment, and a very narrow scorecards against Josh Taylor. Obviously, the guy who's holding and has worn all 4 belts. So,
Right.
look, I mean, is this an opportunity for you to really kind of like stamp yourself as being in your prime and being someone who is poised to take on a string of significant fights in victory after this Saturday night on the 26th?
Exactly. That's you put it in the perfect words. If I could say it myself, I couldn't even say it any better. Yeah, I feel like after this, I want the big fights, and yeah, just to prove myself that I'm the best. I always felt like I was the best in the world at 140. After the Josh Taylor thing, that people kind of write you off, but there was that was a real close fight, and I was #1 in the world, and but people just kind of, I feel like the boxing world kind of shut me out. Because maybe I didn't have like the right people behind me. Maybe because I know because I'm too dangerous. A lot of people shut me out. A lot of people won't like. Over these last 3 years, literally nobody said my name. Nobody, none of the people has been saying my name at all. With a Josh Taylor rematch that we know I don't think he will ever come close to me again. Like nobody says my name at all. So, but after this, after I get this belt again, I'm a 2-time world champion. They gonna have to put the respect on my name. You're gonna have to say my name.
What would you anticipate being next? I mean, do you think while wearing that belt you would get to Taylor, or would you get Jose Ramirez next? What would it look like?
For me, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just think that it'll be, after this, it'll be a lot of big opportunities out there. I definitely feel like that. But who would it be? I don't know. I mean, listen, like, just think. I mean, Jose Ramirez, that sounds good. Regis Prograis versus Jose Ramirez. Me and him had a lot of words back and forth for the last 5 years. I feel like he ducked me for 5 years. I've been trying to fight Ramirez for a long time, and they basically the fight just never happened. I was a champion and he was a champion, and the fight never happened. And then on top of that, well, I forgot what I was to say. I just know he ducked me. Well, no, this is what I want to say. Just so me and Ramirez, yeah, we can. That'll be a big fight. But just imagine me and Josh Taylor too. That'll be a huge fight.
What about you
That'll
and
be
Tiafimo?
me and Tiafimo, me and him. I mean, that's all real big fights. Just I think all 3 of those names are really, really big fights. So of course it's always in the front in the front of my mind is definitely Zepeda. That's the only one
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
focused on right now. Because he's a solid opponent. And I definitely can't overlook him. But in the back of my mind, you always can think about what's after that, what's next, and that's kind of, it's a tendency boxers kind of they think like that. What could be next?
Yeah, absolutely. And, probably far down the road, or not that far, but I think down the road, maybe for you a little bit, is a potential move to welterweight. Having said what you just said about wanting all these big fights and being so eager to get into them, what has been your thoughts and observations as you're looking at what has happened with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight not happening right now when it's, definitely there for the taking?
It's all bullshit. Is definitely it's terrible. It's just terrible for boxing, you know. But I talked to somebody about this. Sometimes what's best for the fans is not what's best for the fighters, you know. Sometimes what's best for the fighters is not what's best for the fans. I feel like right now is what's best for the fighters and what's best for the fans. You know, the fighters that both of them let me get it
You're
right
good.
back. You can see, you still see me?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay, all right, because somebody was calling. So I just feel like, listen, like both of them are in their primes right now. Like they need to like make this happen. That's something they need to do. They really need to make this fight happen. Why not? You know, it's just for me, it's just stupid. It's stupid not to get this fight to happen. I mean, it's a lot of money on the table. They should make the fight happen. I don't know what's holding things up, but it's just it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, I think that some of us were expecting Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis to get in the ring this year as well. Maybe that happens in 2023 along with Crawford Spence. But it seems like it has been kind of a sluggish year for the sport. Do you believe that you and Zepeda sort of wear that into the ring on November 26th and say like, we're here to basically show that what boxing at its highest level can look like and stay with us? I mean, is that a message that
I think so. You know, when you say it like that, I think that could be that could it could potentially be true because I know for me, you know, I don't have nobody really running me. You know, I'm kind of like my own boss. You know, and I don't know about Zepeda. I don't know if he's his own boss or nothing like that. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But you know, on my side, same thing. Like I'm my own boss. Like people can't tell me, you know, what to do. I run my own show over here. You know, so yeah, I think it could show like, you know, you got two high level guys fighting each other. This is what the rest of the sport needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, the following week after that, we have the third fight between Chocolatito and Estrada, and maybe we can go out on a high note. Um, Look, for you, what would it mean? You talked about that moment of going overseas against Taylor and losing. I know it was hard on you, and I know they did try to make you disappear. I understand what you're saying. I think it's all
Uh,
legitimate and valid, no doubt about it. But what would it mean for you if on the 26th that you're able to reunite with that belt, and this time being the WBC version?
I mean, like I said, man, I've been wanting this opportunity for 3 years. You know, I had opportunities to go up to 147. You know, me and Marisa, we were supposed to fight at 147, and I said, listen, no, I want to be a champion again at 140. I'm not going to 147. I want to be a champion again at 140. So, you know, I missed weight a few times, and then I hired a nutritionist, and to make sure I make the weight. You know, my last fight, I was like 138.8 or something like that. So, um, all of that is tying into just that one night. Next Saturday, all those frustrations, all that is tying to is one night because I want to be a two-time champion at 140. That's like that was my goal. You know, I couldn't even see a goal after that until I get to this goal. Now, of course, everybody say 147, go to 147. I can't even see that because listen, I have to be a champion again at 140. And then after that, you know, I'll decide what I really want to do and stuff. But um it, basically, like I said, 3 years of frustrations, 3 years of
Yeah.
training, 3 years of dealing with all this stuff in boxing. It's gonna come out on the 26th.
Well, the thing is that the next 3 years could be incredibly active for you, Regis. And I mean, even if you talk about that move to 147, you're the one when you talk about being a free agent, so to speak, and being able to call your own shots. You're the guy who actually can go after a Spence or a Crawford and hold their feet to the fire and say, "Look, I'm wearing a belt. I'm a champion. I want you." Was that something that is appetizing to you?
Maybe, you know, it depends. Listen, I think that I feel like the 140-pound class will be more. It might be bigger than the 147-pound class. You know, I mean, you have listen, you right now, you know, at 147, it's two big names. You know, you have, now don't get me wrong, you have Ennis and you have Burge Ortiz, they coming
Yeah.
up and stuff like that. But as far as the big names, it's really only two guys. You could put Keith Thurman in there too, but it's really, you know, the belt holders are Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. You
Yeah.
know, so but at 140, I mean, you got all these guys that's coming. A lot of big. I feel like it'll be more at 140, and that's another reason I stayed at 140 because I feel like it's gonna be way hotter. It's gonna be a hotter division. I mean, if you take away, like I said, if you if you take away Errol and you take away Crawford, then what's left at 147.
You're right. And
So
you've got Tank and Ryan Garcia coming up to 140. So I mean, it's incredibly deep. You got to do your part on
you
November
have
26th.
listen, you have Tank, you have Ryan Garcia, you have Devin Haney, you have Teofimo Lopez, you still have me, you have Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall. I mean, listen, look, that's almost 10 names I just named right there, and you talk about at 147, that's two names, two names. You have some guys coming, the with the Ennis and with the Virgil Ortiz coming up. So 4 people, maybe 5 with Keith Thurman. And and all these guys at 140 that could potentially be at 140. So I think it all depends on me. With me, like I said, my main goal is 2-time world champion. Then after that, I'll kind of decide.
Well, get ready to keep busy, very busy, Regis. It all starts November 26th again at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, the War Grounds. By the way, have you ever watched the fight there?
Yeah, the last fight I went to, I was with Jamel, twin, the Cholo twin.
Oh, okay,
when he just won undisputed. He just won undisputed over there. So yeah, that was the last fight I went to.
So many legendary fights, so many great battles over the years. We're looking forward to yours as well. Thanks again, Regis. Really appreciate your time.